Have you ever noticed how the people chasing money the hardest seem to have the least of it? You see them everywhere, working endless hours, jumping from opportunity to opportunity, always looking for the next quick win. They talk about money constantly, yet somehow it slips through their fingers faster than water. Maybe you've felt this yourself, that restless hunger that keeps you scrolling investment forums at midnight, that makes you second-guess every purchase, that has you calculating and scheming but never quite breaking through. You work harder, you learn more tactics, you try new strategies, but the wealth you're chasing remains just out of reach. Here's what's happening: you're fighting the wrong battle. You're trying to capture wealth when you should be cultivating discipline. You're chasing money when you should be mastering yourself. A Japanese swordsman figured this out 400 years ago, and what he discovered about discipline and abundance will completely change how you think about building wealth. Stay until the end, because I'm going to show you the exact method that helps someone escape crushing debt and build real financial stability, not through some get-rich-quick scheme but through the ancient Japanese principle of commanding yourself first. Picture Japan in the early 1600s. The age of constant warfare is ending, but for a Ronin, a masterless samurai, survival means more than just skill with a blade. It means understanding something most people never grasp. True wealth comes not from what you acquire, but from what you command within yourself. Miyamoto Musashi walked this path. At 21, he had already fought over 60 duels to the death and never lost. But here's what made him different from every other sword-for-hire of his era. While others chased gold and glory, Musashi pursued something far more valuable. He called it the way of strategy. But what he was really mastering was the discipline to command himself so completely that external success became inevitable. The turning point came in 1604, when Musashi arrived in Kyoto to challenge the prestigious Yoshioka school. This wasn't just about reputation. The Yoshioka clan controlled lucrative sword instruction contracts throughout the capital. Defeating them meant wealth, students, influence, everything a wandering warrior could want. But watch what Musashi did. While his opponents prepared with elaborate ceremonies, expensive equipment and grand displays of their wealth and status, Musashi was practicing something the Japanese call danshari, the discipline of refusing, disposing and separating from what doesn't serve your purpose. He stripped away everything unnecessary. No fancy armor, no elaborate sword ceremonies, no entourage of supporters. While the Yoshioka spent their energy managing appearances and accumulating symbols of status, Musashi was eliminating every distraction that stood between him and perfect execution. Feel what's happening here. In a culture obsessed with honor, status and material display, Musashi was doing the opposite. He understood that every unnecessary thing you own, every status symbol you maintain, every distraction you entertain, it all requires energy. Energy that could be focused on what actually creates results. The first duel came. Seijuro Yoshioka, head of the school, arrived in silk robes with a polished katana worth more than most people's houses. Musashi appeared with a wooden sword he had carved himself that morning. The crowd laughed. Here was this nobody with a piece of wood challenging the wealthiest swordmaster in Kyoto. The duel lasted less than a minute. Musashi's wooden sword cracked Seijuro's skull and ended his career forever. But here's where it gets interesting. The Yoshioka school didn't accept defeat. They sent Seijuro's younger brother Den Shichiro with an even more elaborate challenge. More ceremony, more expensive equipment, more spectacle. Again Musashi appeared with simple wooden weapons. Again he won decisively. By now Musashi had discovered what the Japanese call kaizen. But not the way most people understand it. We think kaizen means small improvements. Musashi understood it as something much more powerful. The discipline of making each action slightly more precise, each decision slightly more aligned with your true objective, each day slightly more focused on what actually matters. Every morning Musashi would wake before dawn and examine his previous day. Not for grand victories or failures, but for tiny moments of distraction. A thought about money when he should have been focused on technique. A moment of pride that took his attention away from improvement. A desire for comfort that made him choose the easier path instead of the right one. Picture this daily practice. While others were planning how to acquire more students, more gold, more recognition, Musashi was refining his ability to stay present with what was in front of him. Each day he became slightly more disciplined. Each week slightly more focused. Each month his capacity to command his own attention grew stronger. But here's what made Musashi's kaizen different from how most people try to change. He didn't attempt to transform his entire life overnight. Instead, he would choose one tiny habit each week and perfect it completely. Week 1 might be waking up 5 minutes earlier. Week 2, spending those 5 minutes in complete stillness. observing his thoughts without judgment. Week 3, using that stillness to identify the single most important task of the day. Each small change became automatic before he added the next one. While his opponents were making grand plans and dramatic resolutions that they'd abandon within days, Musashi was building an unshakable foundation brick by brick. He understood something crucial. You can't command external resources until you can command your internal responses. Every time he mastered one small impulse, one minor distraction, one tiny moment of self-control, his capacity to handle larger challenges grew. Picture what this looked like in his financial life. Other warriors would receive payment from a lord and immediately spend it on better equipment, finer clothes, more elaborate living arrangements. Musashi would take that same payment and ask himself, what does the truly wealthy warrior do? Not the warrior who looks wealthy, but the one who has genuine command over resources. He would practice delayed gratification with small amounts first. Maybe he wanted new sandals, but he would wait an extra day, then an extra week. Observing how the desire felt in his body, learning to separate want from need. Each time he exercised this discipline, his capacity to make larger financial decisions from clarity rather than impulse grew stronger. The third challenge from the Yoshioka school revealed the deeper principle at work. Desperate and humiliated, they abandoned honor entirely. Instead of a formal duel, they sent 12-year-old Mutashichiro with dozens of armed men hiding in the woods. An ambush designed to kill Musashi through numbers and treachery. Musashi sensed something was wrong and arrived early. As the ambush unfolded, he demonstrated what the Japanese call kodawari, an obsessive attention to craft and detail that most people will never understand. But kodawari isn't about perfection for its own sake. It's about developing such precise control over your own actions that you can respond flawlessly even in chaos. In the middle of that ambush, surrounded by enemies, Musashi moved with perfect economy. No wasted motion, no emotional reaction, no panic. Every step, every strike, every decision was exactly what the situation required. Nothing more, nothing less. He cut through their ambush like it was a formal exercise, killed young Mutashichiro, and walked away untouched. The Yoshioka school, one of the wealthiest and most powerful martial institutions in Japan, was finished. Destroyed by one man who owned almost nothing but commanded himself completely. Years later, Musashi would write, "You can only fight the way you practice." But he understood something deeper. You can only build wealth the way you build discipline. If your daily practice is scattered attention, impulsive decisions, and chasing quick rewards, that's the pattern you'll get in your financial life. If your daily practice is precise focus, delayed gratification, and steady improvement, that becomes your path to abundance. Feel this for a moment. Imagine waking up tomorrow with Musashi's discipline, not needing to check your phone first thing, not getting distracted by every market fluctuation or investment opportunity, not making financial decisions based on fear or greed, but on clear assessment of what serves your long-term strategy. Imagine having such command over your impulses that you could walk past any purchase, any temptation, any shortcut, and choose only what aligns with your deeper purpose. This isn't about deprivation, it's about the kind of internal strength that makes external success inevitable. Musashi lived this principle until his death at 71. He never married, never owned property, never accumulated possessions. Yet he commanded such respect that lords and generals sought his counsel. He created art that's still treasured centuries later. He wrote texts on strategy that guide military and business leaders today. He achieved a form of wealth that transcends money, the wealth of complete self-mastery. The warrior understood what we've forgotten. Discipline isn't the price you pay for wealth. Discipline is wealth, the ability to command your attention, control your impulses, and stay focused on what matters. This is the foundation beneath every form of abundance. Think about the wealthiest people you know, not the ones who appear wealthy but those with true financial freedom. They all share this quality. They can sit in a room full of spending opportunities and choose exactly what serves their long-term vision. They can delay gratification not because they hate pleasure, but because they've trained themselves to find deeper satisfaction in aligned action than in momentary impulse. A software developer in his early 40s was drowning in crushing credit card debt. Despite earning a decent salary, every month seemed to end with less money than the one before. He was doing what most people do, looking for ways to earn more. Side hustles, freelance projects, investment opportunities, always chasing the next source of income while his spending stayed out of control. The turning point came when he found himself researching cryptocurrency at 2 in the morning, again hoping this would be the opportunity that finally solved his money problems. That's when it hit him. He was doing exactly what Musashi's opponents did, chasing external solutions while ignoring the internal discipline that creates lasting results. He started with danshari, the practice of refusing, disposing, and separating, but he applied it to his financial life. First, he cancelled every subscription he didn't actively use. Then he went through his apartment and sold anything he hadn't touched in 6 months. Not because he needed the money, but because he was practicing the discipline of separation from what didn't serve his purpose. Each morning he would spend 5 minutes reviewing every purchase from the previous day, not judging himself, just observing the pattern. Was this decision made from discipline or impulse? Did this expense align with his strategy or distract from it? Like Musashi examining his sword work, he was developing awareness of his financial movements. The first month was brutal. His impulse was to spend money on stress relief, entertainment, convenience. But each time the urge arose, he would pause and ask, what would the warrior do? Not to deny himself, but to choose consciously instead of reactively. Gradually, something shifted, as his discipline with small purchases strengthened. His confidence with larger decisions grew. He stopped checking investment forums obsessively. He stopped jumping at every financial opportunity. Instead, he focused on the basics, paying down debt systematically, building a small emergency fund, investing consistently in simple index funds. 3 months later, he had paid off $8,000 in debt. Not because he was earning more, but because he had developed the internal discipline to align his actions with his goals. His friends started noticing changes. He seemed calmer, more focused. He wasn't constantly stressed about money or talking about get-rich-quick schemes. By the end of the first year, the debt was gone entirely. His emergency fund was growing, but the real change was deeper. He had developed what he called financial machine, a state of mental clarity around money, where he could make decisions without being driven by fear or greed. The discipline started spreading to other areas. He began sleeping better because he wasn't staying up late worrying about finances. He started exercising regularly because he had the mental energy that wasn't being drained by financial stress. His work improved because he could focus completely instead of being distracted by money worries. 2 years later, someone asked him how he had turned his finances around so dramatically. His answer surprised them. I stopped trying to get rich and started practicing discipline. The wealth followed naturally. Today he has a net worth that most people would envy. But when you talk to him, he doesn't focus on the numbers, he talks about the internal transformation. The ability to remain calm during market volatility, to make decisions based on strategy rather than emotion, to find abundance in simplicity rather than always needing more. The money is just the external reflection of internal mastery, he says. When you command yourself completely, you naturally command your resources, your time, your energy. Wealth stops being something you chase and becomes something you cultivate. Here's what Musashi understood that we've forgotten. True wealth isn't about accumulating money. It's about developing the discipline to command every aspect of your life so completely that abundance becomes inevitable. The people chasing money hardest usually have the least because they're fighting the wrong battle. They're trying to control outcomes instead of mastering the internal discipline that creates those outcomes naturally. When you develop the warrior's discipline, the ability to refuse what doesn't serve you, improve slightly each day, and maintain obsessive attention to what matters, you're not just building wealth, you're becoming the kind of person for whom wealth is a natural expression of internal mastery. The path is simple but not easy. Command yourself first and everything else follows. Become so disciplined that people think you're obsessed. Because in a world of scattered attention and impulse-driven decisions, complete self-mastery looks extreme. But it's also the foundation of every form of lasting abundance. If you found insight in this video, please subscribe for more videos to help you along your path. And a question to carry with you. If you had Musashi's complete self-discipline for just 1 week, what would change first, your bank account or your relationship with money itself? Thank you for watching. See you next time. And as always, remember to stay in tune with your own mind frequency.